Hello, my super friends. Welcome to your super new moon in Scorpio reading. This is going to be happening on November 4th. It's going to be at its newest at 3:14 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So wherever you're at in the world, you can adjust that to see where that is going to be at its newest for you. Now, normally new moons are all about the newness because it's starting the new cycle, but with that being Scorpio, there is this extra rebirth energy that is around it. So you've got, your birth, your death, and your rebirth. It's like like a phoenix. You know how they originally rise from the ashes and grow, and then they build a nest to set on fire and things to go back to ashes and have a rebirth. And that is very Scorpio-ish because Scorpio is all about transformation. They transform from a scorpion to a snake to an eagle to a phoenix. So they're very transformative, and so that energy is really around this. It's like this, with the new moon, there's hardly any light. So it does feel a little dark during the new moon, but it is a time that we face our shadow. So it's our little shadow time where we get to dance with our shadow and understand, about what is blocking us, what is chaining us, what's holding us back. So with this new moon, we also get a burst of new energy with that rebirth. So as that phoenix takes flight on a new journey with that super new moon energy, it is a very magical time for us as well. So even though it feels dark, when you rise from the ashes and that phoenix catches on fire, right? And it shows the flames coming from its wings, and you are this brightness in that dark times. You get to see your inner light more and more when it's dark out, not when it's bright sun shining out, right? What's amazing too is the last full moon we had in Scorpio was back in April 26th, and that was a pink super full moon. And so there's also this cycle that happens just monthly. We go through the cycle of the new moon to the full moon back to the new moon, but also over a 6-month period ish, you go from a new moon in a sign to a full moon in a sign back to a new moon in a sign. So you have this big cycle of energy that are happening, these 12 different cycles that are happening throughout a year, actually, right? Because every 6 months you go through this different sign of new moon to full moon. And so you have these 12 separate annual cycles happening with each of those influences of those zodiac signs. So if you look back around April 26th to really look at that pink super full moon, what was going on then was a time of releasing negative energy. So I was talking about like a dance with your shadow. You were becoming familiar with it because you were dancing with it, seeing it eye to eye, right? And during that time, you see what no longer serves you. And so you started to let go of things and making room for new things. Because after a full moon, as you're moving to the new moon, once you reach that culmination of a full moon, then it's like, what am I releasing to make room for new growth when the new moon comes around? So with this new moon in Scorpio happening, you are left dancing with your shadow, and you get to see what's new. What new dance steps are you going to develop as you begin a new dance routine over the next 6 months. So as we go into this reading, we're kind of going to look at what has my feet chained, what's keeping me from dancing so fluently, what's impacting my rhythm. So that's what we're going to look at for the specific reading for your sign, and we're going to jump into that right now. All right, my Libras, this is your reading for the super new moon in Scorpio. And I did realize I didn't mention why this is a super new moon and why the full moon back in April was a super full moon. And it's because the moon does not have this perfect orbit, circular orbit around the Earth. It's more of an oval shape. So, of course, when it's in the thinner place, it's not so far away. It's closer to the Earth than when it's at its, farthest away oval points. And so when it's at its closer period and we have the full moon and the new moon during that, where it's located, that's why it's a super new moon. So it's brings more energy. It's closer to us. So those moon influences are a little more exaggerated, of course. But also it means that the veil between this world and the other world is thinner as well, because that moon energy opens up that communication level. So it's clearer and more distinct and more obvious. So that is your lesson about super moons. There will not be a test later. But because this is a magical period of time here, the first card we're going to pull for this period is the Magic of Unicorns Oracle. This is just going to be what the Creator wants you to know overall for this new moon phase. And we're going to look at the period like the week before the new moon up to 2 weeks after the new moon, right before that next full moon kicks in. So Creator, for our Libras, what do you want them to know about this new moon? What do you want them to know about this new moon in Scorpio? Okay, right there. And you've got the Law of Grace, card number 41. Beautiful brightness. Yep, and look at a balanced 2 unicorns balancing for Libras, of course. So be your divine essence, dissolve all in grace. So we also, of course, we're asking, what's chained your feet to the ground, making it challenging you, dancing this new dance that you're creating for the new moon, and what's limiting your rhythm. So, so the opposite of this, instead of law of grace, would be having yourself under the law, judging yourself harshly, right? And so because of that judgment, that is what is keeping your feet chained, the fear of what would it mean if you made a mistake? What if you don't do it perfectly? All those beautiful, wonderful things, all those conditioning, praise and punishment things that were fed you all through your childhood and reinforced through all the adultness, that is what is being brought to here. And definitely this message of giving yourself grace, being gentle with yourself, allowing yourself to experience and realizing that there are no mistakes, that anything that you're experiencing. And that's what you came here to do, is experience. And who says that when things are supposed to happen and how things are supposed to happen? Your journey is unique. You're a mad scientist in your own laboratory. No one knows what your experiment is. They only know what their own is. So when they're trying to, put all their lab rules of their crazy mad scientist lab onto yours, you're like, well, you don't even know what my mission is here or what my experiment is. So shush, back to your own lab. All right. It says here, we are all corded over lifetimes to those we have harmed with thoughts, words, or actions, and to those who have hurt us. These soul threads draw the same people, conditions, and situations into our lives again and again. Grace is the solvent that releases them forever. When you choose this card, or this card chooses you, unicorns are inviting you to act with pure source love so that you activate the law of grace. Grace is forgiveness. If you offer it to someone who has betrayed you, your heavenly gift breaks the energetic link and sets you free. It also fills that old space in your heart with love and generosity. When you ask for grace for all the hurts or harms you have caused, consciously or unconsciously, throughout your lifetimes, it also releases you and brings huge relief. No one is perfect, for Earth is a learning experience. If you feel you have acted imperfectly, forgive yourself. The person you were then did the best they could at that time in those circumstances. Until you forgive yourself, you will attract punishment because you believe you deserve it. Wow, right? So true. But Source sees the divine in you, accepting you without judgment. See the divine in others. Look at everyone you meet with eyes of grace. Extend this to your friends, your neighbors, your acquaintances, all in the public domain, and people throughout history. Grace enables relationships to transform with Source love, and when you practice giving and receiving unconditional acceptance, all karma is erased. I love that. And it says, when you offer healing, send it under grace so that you are detached from the result. Grace asks God to take over for the highest good of all, right? Yeah. It's like, let God handle it, because, we'll go, here's your grace. Now what are you going to give me, right? Because we're still in that mode. But when we do it with love and hand it over to the Creator, then that unfolds much more lovingly, unconditionally lovingly, right? And it says, receive and give grace. It says, sit or stand with your palms facing upwards. Your unicorn is beside you, holding you in light. Your heart is open to the Creator, to Source. The energy of grace is flooding you. Experience your divine essence. And then think of others with unconditional acceptance. Set yourself and everyone else free. And the affirmation for this card is, I accept grace and offer it to others. And I love this message of forgiveness too, because, when we hear forgiveness and we've been hurt, in our past, the story we attach to it, something in the past anyway, we chose to put pain and victimhood around it and all that, we are the ones that are maintaining that with our energy. We are the ones that maintain that, those feelings, those shadowy, limiting, restricting emotions, right? Because we're using that to define our worth, and we're maintaining it with a lot of energy, because it takes energy to maintain those beliefs, right? But what I love is that, it's like we take a poison and go, I hope that they get sick from it. And it's like, well, the poison's inside us. It's not out there. We are the ones experiencing the poison, the dis-ease within us. And the more we maintain it, the more it leaks out into our body and our human side and our experience here. So forgiveness isn't about letting the other person off the hook, which is the great news for our human ego, because we're like, no, I don't want them let off. We're smart, we're intelligent. Libras, you are intelligent. You're an air sign, so you're very much are not going to forget what happened, and you're not going to let it happen again. But releasing the wrath and releasing all that energy that you're maintaining around it allows it to dissipate, and allows you to move those emotions off out of your energy center, where it's not maintaining it anymore. It's just something that you remember, an experience you went through, but you're not experiencing it anymore. And it allows you to move energy and move into this new place. So that's this grace that happens too. And then awareness then comes later, when you look at all that, because you realize, when you're able to look at it through this grace and unconditional love, you realize that the other people in those situations, if you reflect back on it, were strictly acting out of fear. They were fearing being rejected. They were trying to be in control, because if they didn't feel like they were in control, then they felt, of course, out of control and were scared. And that's when they were in fight or flight mode. So they were either bullying and having this forceful, fightful nature towards you, or leaving you and running away from you, right? So it's usually, even defensiveness is, a part of the fight or flight. So if you look back on it, it's like swimming out to someone who's drowning and they drag you under with them because they're panicking. Or, their arms are waving all over the place and end up smacking you, right? The story we can put around there is like, oh my God, they're trying to beat me up and they tried to kill me. But when we go back and look at it and go, oh, they were panicking. It had nothing to do with me. They didn't even realize that the real me was there. They were just involved in this panicking, fearful story. So that's where this grace comes into. It allows us to see our past and those emotions from a totally different place. I'm going to pull some cards here from the Light Seers Tarot, also to see what additional messages the Creator has for you for this period of time. We're going to pull a card to represent the week before the new moon, and then pull a card for the week after the new moon, and then a card for 2 weeks after the new moon, right before the next full moon. So for our Libras, what do you want them to know about the week before? Okay, boom, boom. And what about the week after the new moon? Focus that right there. And then what about 2 weeks after the new moon? Okay. So we got 2 cards for the week before. The King of Cups. So cups are our emotions. Definitely this is going to be a beautiful reception of unconditional love, because I always look at this cup here as like the chalice or the Holy Grail, and you look at the King of Cups kind of like the Christ love, the unconditional love of the Creator of all things. And so this definitely is bringing in this beautiful, whole, complete love that we have totally talked about this whole time, practically, right? This also brings this calmness. The King of Cups has, of course, gone through the entire suit of the cups, experienced all these emotions, and one of the beautiful, brilliant awarenesses that come is that it understands that decisions that are made strictly from the mind, which I know I'm an air sign as well, when you use just logic and just the senses to make decisions, it's not always going to turn out for our highest alignment to who we truly are. Also, the King of Cups says if you make decisions strictly out of emotions, it also usually doesn't, work out to the highest alignment with our true selves. And so this, of course, 2 unicorns, this balance. Libras, the balance, you understand, it's about balancing heart and mind, which for air signs, we need the reminder, oh yeah, emotions, let's balance that. So definitely that's coming in here. Yeah. And then you got the 7 of Swords. Swords is the mind. So, and what I love about this is that swords are, our beliefs, our thoughts, our mindsets, our attitudes, our expectations. And usually, our thoughts are like out here, and we carry remnants of our thoughts on our back. So like I was talking about, this hurt and this pain and all these beliefs about ourselves, because we're emotional beings who think, and so we felt emotions, so we create thoughts and beliefs around it. And then what this card represents is what thoughts are still deceiving us, what thoughts are we still carrying around with us. And what happens is it appears and goes, gah, gah, won't let you go away. Normally it's further away, but this is in your face. And so definitely this new moon is bringing this energy and bringing those situations to your face that you're ready to let go of, that you're ready to transform with this grace. You're ready to surround, amongst this beautiful light of this full moon, this beautiful energy that's coming in. It's time for this thing that has been holding you back, this thing that's limiting you, you're ready to let it go, and it's making itself known. So it's not going to be a surprise. You're like, I wonder what that one is. You're like, oh, I know exactly what that is because it's in your face, right? And that's the week before the new moon. And then the week after the new moon, you got the Two of Cups here. So beautiful harmony that's coming in for you. Cups, emotion. For me, this card represents your human side in partnership and embracing your heavenly side, your higher self. It's bringing in this beautiful energy that's flowing in. And so you're realizing that you're more than this human side of things. You're this powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. And you're not at battle with your ego trying to kill it. You're actually, your human side is wanting love. And it's been told to look outside of itself for it, and it's not finding it. So your powerful self, your beingness that's made of unconditional love comes down, and you can embrace it. And you move into this new awareness and this new level of walking through life. And like we talked about, when you have old memories pop up, you're able to see it in a totally different way when you're coming from this place of wholeness and completeness. From this place of forgiveness, of understanding that other people's actions weren't personal toward us. They didn't even know we were there. They just saw this character in a hood and they thought it was a villain, or they, thought it was something that they needed to control. They didn't see us. They saw a character in their little movie that's playing, and we weren't even there in their mind. We were someone else. If you look at it that way, you can go, oh, okay. It wasn't, they didn't wake up that morning with the intentions of, I'm going to go hurt that person. It just, we happened to be there when the poo-poo was hitting the fan, right? And then the second week after the new moon, you've got the Seven of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles is about this patience as things grow and change in the outside world. I mean, all this energy, all this root stuff that you're getting to the bottom of, it takes time for it to make its way into the physical world. So, this really is the message of, you're doing a lot of internal work, but it is going to be making its way into the outside world. So just know that even if you don't want to talk to those individuals that you have that angst with, or that they've passed away, their character is no longer on the stage here for you to reconcile with. Regardless of that, just know that when you're doing the inner work, it's changing the energy around you for your experience in your life, that you don't have to go and do those things. If you're definitely nudged and urged, and you're like, I need to make it right with them to complete it, then do that. But don't feel like you have to, because what's important is you getting to the roots, digging out, like I said, the dis-ease, the poison within you, because that's what's going to help you grow and you be more fruitful, and experience this beautiful love in your life, this beautiful unconditional love and joy and laughter and peace in your life. And then the last card we're going to pull, since your Phoenix is rising from the ashes and starting a new journey, we're going to pull a Cosmic Journey Oracle and just see what the final message the Creator has for all you Libras for this new moon period. Right, Creator. So for our Libras, what's your final message for this Scorpio super new moon? Nope. Okay, there it is. Yep, card number 12. Enter one step forward, one step onward. So don't feel you have to deal with all things all at once. Just take one step at a time. Don't think that, it becomes overwhelming if you're like, well, I want to look at all those hurts. Oh God, it's going to take me forever. It's like, It's like thinking that you have to sort through everything in your house. Just start with one drawer. Make your goal, this drawer is for today. Don't worry about all the other drawers and closets and garage or whatever. This drawer is what I'm going to start on, and do that one step. The 12-step program, one step at a time. All right. And it says, you're in a thick fog right now, and you can see only a few feet ahead of you. And that's all you need. Instead of knowing each move, exactly which steps to take and in which order, realize that when you walk forward, the next step will be revealed to you. This is a journey of one step forward and one step onward. You're being asked to enter your perfect path awaiting you without reservation and without hesitation. The cosmic catalyst is ask yourself this question: what is the next step I can take right now? And then what is the next step? The cosmic checkbox says ask someone to be your accountability partner to ensure you make your next step forward without over-planning or overthinking it. What? We never do that. Air signs never do that. So I love that. So definitely this is about taking that action and realizing that this is for you. Again, it's helping you get those poisons out of your body. It's allowing you to be freer and healthier, and expanding your joy in your life. So I am loving this for you. All right, we're going to leave it there, and just know that as you go through each and every moment of every day, that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. I like to let you all know too that in addition to these new moon and full moon readings, I also do readings like bi-monthly by zodiac sign, and I also do like weekly zodiac element, readings, and a variety of other readings as well. So if you want to be kept in the loop for that, if you haven't done so already, if you click on the subscribe button down below, then what that's going to do is make this little notification bell pop up, and if you just select that, then you'll be notified of when all those new videos come out, and you won't miss any of them. So if you feel so inclined, there you go. All right. Well, just know that I love you very much as well, and until next time, I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. You take care.